Hola chicos, today's lesson we're going to be talking a little bit about preterite verbs that are stem changing in the preterite. We've talked a lot about stem changing verbs in the present tense. We've talked a lot about the preterite. Time to bring those two together. So preterite IR stem changing verbs is what we're going to do in this short lesson. So let's get rolling here. Just a real quick review, present tense verbs, stem changers. Some of you may be more familiar with them as boot verbs. Your teachers may have called them boot verbs in the past because when we look at our conjugation table here, the ones that change are the ones that are inside the shape of a boot. That's how you remember that the nosotros and the vosotros are not stem changers. So as a quick review, I sleep, yo duermo, you sleep, tú duermes, he, she, or usted sleeps, él duerme, ella duerme, usted duerme, we sleep, nosotros dormimos, y'all sleep in Spain, dormís, or you guys sleep, they sleep, ellos or ellas duermen. So those are our stem changers in the present tense. Notice, when we look at an infinitive verb, remember infinitive is not conjugated. It's like infinity, there's no subject, no time. An infinitive verb, this one, dormir, when it stem changes, you'll see this O. When you see the verb listed in a book or when you're learning the verb, you'll see something like this afterwards, O to UE. That means it's an O to UE stem changer. So the O changes to UE in all of these conjugations. Now this shouldn't be new, this should be review for all of you that are watching this now, because we're in the past tense now and we're assuming that by this point you know the present tense stem changers. So dormir is an O to UE stem changer in the present tense. Let's look now at the preterite. If we were to do dormir in the preterite, if you want to say I slept, well it's still, with the other verbs we didn't have any changes going on. And there's no stem change here, dormí. No stem change here, dormiste. And of course there's no stem change in this area because it's boot verbs. Dormimos. We won't mess with the vosotros that dormistes. But then as we get down into this bottom area, something happens. We do have a change, but it's not O to UE, it's just an O to U. Durmió, with an accent, durmió. And over here, durmieron. Ellos durmieron en la cama. Él durmió en el piso, en el suelo. Okay, so these verbs that we're learning this chapter, they do have a stem change in the preterite, but it's only down in this conjugation, and it's slightly different. Let me fix that so it doesn't look so much like a O. Durmió. Okay. You got it? So instead of a boot verb, now it's more like a flip-flop or a sandal verb. It's just down here in this bottom area. It's a sole verb. Just this bottom part, we've got stem changing. And there's a handful of verbs that do that. We're not going to do all of them. We're just going to hit a few of them. Let's look at these three. Preferir. Preferir. So we've got preferí. Preferí. Remember, it's normally an E to IE. Prefiero, prefieres. But now we're just going preferí, no stem change. Preferiste. Now when we get down to the LA usted, prefirió. Okay, it's just doing an E to I. Okay? So let's just hit a couple of these. We got preferir, goes prefirió, or prefirieron. Bad habits. Prefirieron. Okay. Pedir. Pedir is an E to I. Remember, yo pido, tú pides, él pide, nosotros pedimos. No stem change in nosotros. Ellos piden. That's present tense. we go past tense if we want to say I asked for. I asked for, no stem change there. Pedí. You asked for, pediste. He asked for. That's when we see the stem change, down that he, she, usted category. Él pidió pan. Pidió pan con mantequilla. Pidió una A en la clase. Ellos pidieron. Okay, so that's where we're seeing our stem change, just in the ele usted, ellos, ellas, ustedes. And notice these are all just IR verbs. They're stem changing IR verbs. That's what gives you the little yellow light or red light. Say, whoa, wait a second, is this going to change in the preterite? It's an IR stem changing verb. Dormir is our last one. You see, normally it's O to UE. That's one we just did, but now we're going to go O to U. Remember what those are? He, she, usted. Durmió. What about ellos, ellas, ustedes? Durmieron. Okay? Stem change. Changing. Not in the other conjugations. Just down our all too familiar grid. Again, it's just down in this area down here that we're doing the stem change. We used to do boot verbs. Now we're just doing sandal verbs. Or sole verbs. Okay? Now there are others that are similar to preferir, where it's an E to I, or pedir, E to I, or dormir, O to UE, or O to U. Actually, I should get rid of this E because that's confusing. In the present tense, it's O to UE. In the preterite, it's O to U. Let's take a look at what they are. So, preferir, we've got a couple others. Divertirse, to have fun, to enjoy oneself. He enjoyed himself. Say, div, for to be. D-I-V-I. There's where our stem changes. Él se divirtió. Él, he lied. Él mintió. No, señor. Él mintió. Ella se sintió bien. She felt good. She felt well. No. Se sintió. Okay, and we got others here. Competir, compitió. Despedirse, we've got to take that, put it up front. Se despidió. Said goodbye. Él se despidió. Let's do an ellos, ellas, ustedes. They repeated, not repetieron. No, not repetieron. You'll go to repitieron. Okay, and we got others like that. Sirvieron, siguieron, se vistieron. Okay, these are all changing to I's. And then we've got one more that we're going to just glance at real quick. Dormir. We've got the O to U. Morir. Go to murió. Se murió. Changes to a U. And that's the nutshell of the stem changers in the preterite. They stem change, but only down in that bottom category. And some of them stem change a little differently than what they do in the regular present tense stem changes. So go over this. Those of you that are my students in class, I'm going to be going over this more in class, and we'll have some worksheets, some practice. We'll talk about this a little bit more. We'll have some conversations using these words. Good luck. Buena suerte.